Good morning, everyone. My name is Phanthian Zuesongdham from Hamburg Port Authority. And today, first of all, I would like to thank the organizers of the IPIC conference 2021, as well as Alice, for inviting me to share my information today about the work that we have been doing in the initiative DTLF, Digital Transport and Logistics Forum, on the federated network of platform, which is also shaping the future of data sharing, which is the theme of these sessions today. As everyone today know, that data is have been looking as like a holy grail of business excellences. Today, we are using our data to explore in our businesses, for example, to have some insights of what is going on in real time on our businesses, to use them also for improve our processes or our existing services, or even create a new business out of these data that we have owned or has been shared with us in our business. And another one is that also once that you have insight and you could really improve, you can find a touch point with your customer. You can also use this data to really enhance your targeted communication with your partners or your customer and your stakeholders. In the transport, where you know that many of the stakeholders are existing along the supply chain, and even in the network, we have a lot of people involved until a shipment could be really transported from A to B and the logistic process is completed. And in the digital world, we also know that this kind of the synchronization of the data flows and cargo flows is still somehow a deficit that we have in the realities. And this synchronization is not yet done smoothly. But everyone or every organization is working toward that, so that the digitalization potentials could be unlocked also for our business today. And that's why it's come to the questions how we can really, as a supply chain actors, could share data to unlock this potential of our business without fear. Because one of the most important factors that the people are not sharing data today is they don't know how to share it very effectively, so that they don't really manually typing many times in their systems. The second one is that how secure it is to share the data which is coming from our own system or your systems, and share it into an environment that we know. And that is actually the questions of what the Digital Transport and Logistics Forum has been exploring, and also committed themselves to works upon. And that's why we had created this concept of a federated network of platforms, which HPA is the member of this forum, and have been actively working within this forum together with many experts around Europe across the sectors. And to get you some insights onto this concept, I would like to show you a teaser videos.
Within Europe, every day, hundreds of thousands of containers and pallets are transported by road, rail, sea, air, and inland waterways. To enable these movements, the different actors involved need to exchange information at each stage in the logistics chain. Commercial concerns, information fragmentation, and the continuous use of paper documents still hamper an efficient and real-time information exchange, producing unnecessary waiting times, unpredictable arrivals, penalties, and higher administrative and operational costs and emissions. Digital transformation offers an opportunity to address these limitations and improve the quality, efficiency, and sustainability of freight transport services. Since 2015, a group of more than 100 stakeholders coordinated by the European Commission work together in the Digital Transport and Logistics Forum in order to reach this objective. The DTLF supports the European Commission in implementing 100% digital information exchanges and a shared transport and logistics data space. This data space will integrate existing or emerging platforms into a federated network, allowing stakeholders to easily connect and share data in a trusted and secure environment. It will provide single access rules, smart digital architecture, and a common set of services following agreed principles of governance, thus overcoming the current fragmentation of various IT environments. Different platforms will speak the same language and can act as one without compromising their commercial independence. Each player in the logistics chain will be able to register through a single entry point of their choice, connect and use services offered by the various platforms, and do business with minimum effort and costs. All simple without being bothered by specific platform requirements or the complexity of the underlying technology, just as the internet works now. Information on logistics services, timetables, and capacity will be just a click away. Booking and ordering services or standardized reporting to various authorities will be simple to do. Supply chain visibility is becoming a reality. Learn more on the future of the European logistics sector on www.dtlf.eu.
I hope you could get some ideas of what the Federated Network of Platform by TLF should be achieving. And to do that, these are some of the summaries that it's shape really the data sharing framework on a common ground. First, we have to speak the same language, which we call it the data semantics. And it has to be adopted or specialized and implemented by each mode of transport. It should be also by the implemented by the logistic customer and supply chain stakeholders, so that the more the people or the organization would adopt and implement this kind of schema and framework, the more we can share the data together in this secure way. And we would like also to provide some migration parts supporting the existing implementation, like the standard supports, how the technical or the practitioners in the business could really adopt this kind of framework into their organization easily. And these shape these four characteristics of the DTLF building blocks that we would like to describe in this framework, being plug and play, being the internet technology independent infrastructure service, because we would like anyone to be technological locked in. We would like to provide trusted, safe, and secure environment for data sharing. And last but not least, we would like that everyone could really adopt this architecture and not losing their own independencies on their business. In general, when we are talking about the data sharing, you have different options of how you could share the data. The first one in option A is what we know today, is that we have a peer-to-peer communication between the business. Or in the B options, you could also use this central platform. You agree with your business partner which platform you would like to use, and then you share the data. And then in the third option, each of the organization use their platform of their choice, but then the platforms is agreeing among themselves what kind of interoperability components that they would like to commonly use, and then they could share the data. Or the last options is that you as an organization use the platform which is using a common or standards which the other organization is already implemented, and then you can also create the interoperability. in overall approach of the DTLF, we always derive the requirements of these federated network of platforms, principles or framework principles in the way that we have a look at to the business scenarios and regulations that they are existing or upcoming. And then we translate it into different kinds of components, how we have to adopt this into the architecture, in the semantics models, and how these could be implemented into an interface components, into the service, and to an interface which is secure according to the standards that we committed. This is one of the pictures that we would like to also to describe how the governance architecture look like, how we derive these kinds of services, and how we could really derive the functionalities of the platform architecture components that should be perceived as DTLF compliant. And here you have the 4 layers figures where you could really starting from these physical layers where each of the physical objects like vehicles or infrastructure, it's already now today quite intelligent by the IoT technology. So it is also collecting and capturing information and also share to different process and different platforms. Then we have the second layers where the physical process is executed, and again it produces the layers of the data which it could be shared, which also mirror into a platform services, which is the second layer where the digital process is described. And at this level, the interoperabilities among the platform will exist so that it serves at the end the business service and the business layer to the end customer. So all in all, the DTLF schema comprise of semantic models, which is the language for the multimodal freight and logistics. It comprises of a technology independent service that it could be deployed even though the technology already fade out, so you are not technologically locked in. And it's also compliant to the regulation and the data access policies, which has to be commonly agreed among the party who use these DTLF schemas. And it's also provide the interface between the components of the architecture so that everyone could really correspond with each other. And this is the example of the level of the explanation that we are trying to use. So we, in our work in the DTLF, that we try also to lean onto the reference or standards that we know that is existing, because we wouldn't like to really reinvent the wheel. And for example, on the road issues, we refer it to the EU Data Governance Act, and we try to describe in the example so that the practitioners also could really translate from the theoretical abstract explanation into their own use cases or specification. And we have also described onto the technical architecture concept so that we specify what kind of components we are concerning about language, concerning about the process, how do we see the functionalities on the discoveries, on the accessibilities, and on the identifications of the users so that we could really provide a secure and trusted environment on the data sharing architectures. And we are not yet over with our work. We still diligently work on this topic together with all the experts in the DTLF. And we are going to discuss next, for example, the issues on the governance structures and the procedures, how the DTLF compliance could become a schema and could become adopted. The second one is how the technology independent service could look like. We are detailing specification on the interfaces and also on the plug and play in different aspects like organizational, functional, and technical level. And we would like also to provide the standard supports and to describe how the organization could really adopt and migrate their systems or their implementation into to be DTLF compliant systems. And that is actually the things that I would like to share with you today. And I'm really looking forward to the panels later. Thank you so much.